Hello and welcome to Just the Gist. Murner.
Man,
Why were you looking at me? I was looking at you like, join in with me.
I forgot that it was a mini.
I feel dumb doing that myself.
Go from the top.
Welcome to Just the Gist.
Murder!
There you go. We're keeping that in. I love how you like go from the top.
from the top.
We're keeping that in. It's a professional operation here at Just the Network. Okay, guys, today we're doing a little Just the Gist mini. I'm a Rosie Borderland, your host. With me is James Joseph, producer extraordinaire. And I really want to just launch straight into this one because OG fans of Just the Gist are going to recognize this straight away. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I wonder if you can help me. I've been waiting for an operation. 6 years I've been stuck with a penis on my arm. Malcolm McDonald, you put a penis on my arm and it's still here. Can you imagine 6 years of your life with a penis swinging on your arm? My life is fucked. I'll cut it off soon. I've had enough. I want this penis off my arm, please.
It's the episode. This is an iconic JTG episode.
So that is a clip from the 2022 British Channel 4 documentary, The Man with the Penis on His Arm. And
Masterpiece.
the man you hear speaking is Malcolm McDonald, a British man who lost his penis, had a new one grafted from his own skin, which was intended to be surgically reattached where penises go. But due to a series of complications and delays, he ended up having to live with that new penis attached to his arm for 6 years.
Wow.
This, dear listeners, is just the gist of the man with the penis on his arm.
This is amazing. This is an iconic day. This is an iconic JTG day.
It's an iconic one.
Sometimes people try and pull JTG into a very kind of serious place where we have important conversations.
We do sometimes.
We do sometimes, but sometimes we also, it's penises on arms, it's lady shagging dolphins.
Yes.
It's a bit ridiculous and a bit nonsensical.
Yes. And I will say with Malcolm McDonald, parts of his story are sad, but I have always felt comfortable laughing at certain bits of it because he has talked about how laughing about it has helped at times, and he totally understood that other people laughed about it. And, we first started talking about this on Just the Gist. I brought it to Breaking News before this documentary in 2022. It was around 2020 when he went to the press because he was sick of waiting. And so it became a story then. I talked about it in Breaking News. We kind of followed his story for a while. And then the iconic documentary came out in which, yes, you do see the
Penis.
the said penis on the arm.
Wow.
I think if you haven't already switched off by now, it goes without saying that this one's probably not safe for kids. But you know what? Maybe you're not a regular mom. Maybe you're a cool mom, in which case, go for it.
Also, it's an educational episode.
It is. It's really
It's
interesting.
interesting.
It
you know?
actually is really interesting. You ready?
I'm so ready.
Did I tell you what we were doing? Because you seemed so...
No.
Your face when that audio started playing. I thought I had told you what I was doing
You told
today.
us we were doing a different episode, so I was mentally
did I?
preparing for a very, very different topic.
That was really funny. Okay. So, Malcolm McDonald, back in 2014, he had spent his entire life with a regular penis. He had 2 kids. In 2014, though, he's in his late 30s and he's not been going through a great period in his life. His relationship with his previous partner had ended. He was dealing with mental health issues and he was an addict, essentially. He became an addict. He turned to alcohol and drugs, and he spent a period of time homeless that year and was also living out of a friend's sort of storage space / garage. So I'm assuming hygiene was not entirely accessible, or to be honest, probably even a priority when you're living like that. You do the best you can, but
And his penis fell off.
not straight away.
Okay.
We're getting.
I was like,
no, you just don't have a
I
bath.
haven't showered today.
Yeah, no, this is everything your parents told you coming true. If you
Yeah.
don't have a bath for 3 days, your
This
penis
is a
falls off.
cautionary
Yeah.
tale, kids who are still listening.
No. So this is crazy because when I first started talking about this, and then obviously
Didn't stop.
we talked about it, I remember when this documentary came out in 2022, And it was late 2022 that I started having my own butt issues. So I wouldn't have really taken any special interest in what caused, it was just like, oh, he had this thing that caused this thing, then his penis fell off. But now he had the same thing that I had. So while he was living really rough, like he was unhoused, he was staying in this garage, he was, also doing quite a lot of drugs, he developed a perianal abscess.
Ah.
Yes.
Wow.
And I think at the time when I read this story, I would have just been like, oh, okay, he developed something and then he got an infection. But I have now, since this, had several of my own perianal abscesses that have led to several surgeries.
Like you and the man with the penises in his arm are just
we
like
now
your
have-
lives are crossed
I
over.
know.
It's amazing.
It's like a newfound connection that
Wow.
I
How
didn't
special.
have previously. I
That's
know.
so special.
I know. So perianal abscesses are really painful. I without getting into too much detail about myself, they can form from kind of anything. Mine formed from, I had a tiny little, what do you call it? Tear. What's it called when you get that? An anal fissure.
Fissure, that's right.
Yeah, just like
Fissure.
if you've been constipated or pushing
Yeah.
too hard or whatever, or sometimes if you have a hemorrhoid and you get a little like, I don't know, it causes a little cut or whatever. And so then from that, you can get sort of bacteria or something in there. And so then it causes like an abscess. And if you don't get the abscess treated, it will keep just getting bigger and bigger. It's basically just a big ball of like
Pus.
gross. Yeah. And often it's sort of up inside the skin, so there's not a lot you can do about it. You just feel a lot of pressure there. And eventually, if you don't get it, like you essentially have to get it like surgically removed often, or definitely at least medical intervention to safely like treat it.
You couldn't just pop it yourself.
Well, you shouldn't, no.
Oh, okay.
You can,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't. It can turn into something called an anal fistula, which is then a whole other disaster, which is what happened to me. And I ended up having 5 emergency anal surgeries because of this very issue. So it's a very common thing that this happens. And, I can't imagine being unhoused and not having any money and not having access to the kind of high level of hygiene you need to treat something like this. I can't imagine.
Or even have the capacity to go and seek medical attention.
And seek medical attention, So
I'm so interested to see how that causes a penis to
So
fall
here's
off.
what happens. He says in the Channel 4 documentary in 2022 that he first noticed this abscess form, and trust me, you notice because it's incredibly painful, and
Yeah.
it's between sort of his scrotum and his butthole, so it's right in that sensitive
and his
area.
Perineum?
Yeah. And I'm
Thank
like,
you.
I feel like I should jump in now and say, by the way, guys, this one isn't for the squeamish. I'm like, too late. Like, we've said the word anus and pus and abscess like 5 times in the first 2 minutes. So he has this abscess there that swells up pretty much to the size of a tennis ball.
Wow.
And it pops.
Gosh.
And he had not gotten medical attention for it, but when it popped, he had to go, he got like emergency surgery because it's an extremely painful thing to treat. You kind of have to get put under general anesthetic to treat it. So, they basically have to go in and make sure they get everything out, because I don't know if you're a fan of Dr. Pimple Popper, but she always says when she's treating abscesses, things like that, you have to get it all. You have to get like the sac, or else it essentially like grows back kind of thing. So he has this surgery and they like clean it all out and stitch it up because it often will leave like quite a big wound. Let me tell you right now, this surgery is very painful. Like these surgeries are painful. But he gets it done. He gets it fixed. After the surgery, it heals up, but it does come back. And it doesn't mean that the surgery wasn't done properly or whatever. Sometimes it's just a tiny stitch will tear a little, bacteria gets back in, bam, it forms
Or
again.
maybe like he was on antibiotics and didn't take the full course of antibiotics and things like that. Like it can be something small.
There's so many reasons. And this area in particular is like, prone to bacteria. It's like pooping.
Is he still living in the storage
yes,
locker? Yeah.
He's still unhoused. Like, so,
gosh.
it comes back. And he kind of says the surgery was so painful. He says, I don't want another bum surgery.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that again. So when he notices that it's back, he decides to deal with it himself. So he says he lays down on his stomach and he just reaches back there with a needle and he pops it.
Oh.
Because he thinks, if I don't let it get to the side of a tennis ball, then
I'll just keep popping it.
yeah, right? But of course it gets infected.
Mm.
I mean, you know, the way he's living, it'd be hard for anybody to do that hygienically. It gets infected, which he doesn't realize it's infected, and he gets sepsis, which he doesn't realize that he has sepsis until, which is essentially blood poisoning. And what that causes is a lack of oxygen going to, like, traveling in your blood. So one of the first things that starts to happen if you let sepsis, like, go on too long is that your extremities, like your fingers, toes, penis, start to turn black. So he notices his fingers turning black and he notices his toes turning black. And then he notices his penis turning black, but again, he doesn't seek medical attention. And he says in the Channel 4 documentary that one day he went to the toilet and it just fell off.
Whoa.
His penis just fell off.
That's wild. I would feel like I would be more like scared of my penis turning black than my finger turning black.
Well,
I don't know why.
think it happens this all happened very quickly.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay. It wasn't like it was
it's
like.
not like sepsis takes like 3 weeks. So it's like pretty quick. So it was like, what? My fingers and toes are black. And then he was like, my penis is black. And he went to the toilet.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess it's like frostbite where they say you just
Yeah.
can't even feel it. Like people who climb Mount Everest are like, oh my God, my big toe is gone. And they don't even feel it.
Yeah.
So he like doesn't, because the oxygen's cut off because of the sepsis, it just falls off. He's like, I
Yeah.
didn't feel it. He said there was just a stump left there.
Can I ask
and
about the testicles?
Testicles remained.
Okay.
He says,
I like to ask that. So, may I ask?
no, I knew.
May I inquire about the
I knew
testicles?
that would be a question, so I made sure I looked that up. Testicles remained. The sort of main dangling appendage fell off, and he said he didn't know what to do with it, so he just threw it in the bin.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. It's
The-
kind of like you just like throw it in the bin and just hope no one notices.
Well, no, he's freaked out because his fingers and toes are black and his penis just fell off. So he calls an ambulance. The documentary maker says, you went to the toilet and your penis fell off. And he just looks in the camera and goes, yep, gone. See ya. Like he's a character, this guy.
Yeah.
He's a character.
So then there's just like a hole there,
He says it kind of just looks like a stump.
a stump.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
he testicles and then just
Mhm.
I guess probably there's a wound.
wound,
But he gets to the hospital and they save his life. They treat the sepsis, the infection, so his fingers and his toes are okay, but his penis is gone. The paramedics at his house say it was essentially like, this is kind of gross. It just looked like this shriveled up tiny sausage roll. Like it had just
Okay. Yeah.
all, not being attached to the body. It just
Yeah.
all went blah, 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 blah. So, he says once he was stitched up and out of the hospital, it was like just having a stump there. He says this, and I didn't quite understand what this meant. He says, if I need to wee, I just wee. And I'm not sure if he meant if people are asking, I can still go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Or if he meant he had no control now. Like, if I need to wee, I just wee.
I take that as like I can still go to the toilet.
Yeah, like there's something that it's
I just don't.
there's a hole there.
I don't have a penis to hold
yeah.
to go to the toilet.
Yeah. Like I pee, like I guess
Yeah.
like a lady now.
Yeah.
He just has a hole there. So Malcolm thinks at this point that he just has to live without a penis.
Yeah.
And he spends like a year incredibly depressed.
Yeah.
His drug use and alcoholism gets worse. But then his GP refers him to a specialist surgeon called Professor David Ralph. And this guy specializes in phallus construction.
Interesting.
And so he can like take skin and muscle and veins from parts of your own body and like build them into a penis
Wow.
and then attach the penis to you.
Wow.
And so Professor Ralph agrees to work with Malcolm. And this is like all an incredibly expensive endeavor. Like he obviously doesn't have the money, so it's covered publicly. Malcolm even gets to choose the size of his new appendage.
And he went, tiny, please.
He says he chose 6 inches, which is 2 inches bigger than his original.
Of course you would.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
If you got a choice,
Yeah.
you're going to go bigger than the one you had.
And apparently, I looked it up for Australians. We go in centimeters. 6 inches is 15 centimeters. I guess that's like that's half a ruler. You know. Questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would the penis become erect?
Yes. So
so it's like a fully functional penis.
I'm about to explain to you, right?
wonderful, yes.
So in 2015, like modern medicine is amazing, right?
If you're a man.
So yeah, if you're a lady, it's like we still haven't even figured out period pain. But if you're
Lose
a
your
dude,
penis, we're
yeah.
going to build you a
Yeah,
new
we
one.
literally know how to build a new one. So doctors take muscle and veins from his leg, but they separately take skin from his arm because the skin on the arm is more like sensitive
it is.
and like has better sensation. So
Yeah.
they really are thinking about stuff like that. And they mold it all together into a new penis, and there's like a urethra in it and everything, so he'll be able to pee. And also, yes, there is a tube in there that can be like attached to a hand pump, so he can
Oh, I see.
give himself an erection.
Yes. So it's not like the blood connected to your blood vessels.
No,
and-
he
okay,
can't
yeah.
but he can't. They've given him the
Yeah,
ability
like
to have one.
like the air pump, like the shoes
Yeah.
with the
With the basketball
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
tongue that
Just
we
like
had when
them,
we were young.
but
Yes.
penis is shaped
but the
instead.
penis one, yeah. So a lot of intricate work goes into creating this new penis. It takes a while. And Malcolm goes in for the operation to attach it to where his penis should go in 2016. But while he's on the operating table, he develops something called hypoxemia during the surgery, which is a lack of oxygen in the blood. It's not super common in surgeries, but it's random and it happens sometimes. So they have to stop the surgery. But the penis, they've made it, and it needs to be attached to blood flow or it will like shrivel up and die, basically, because it's a living organism thing, right?
It has rights.
Yeah, probably more than women. And like making it was, incredibly costly. But also it's specific to Malcolm because it's his arm, leg, and veins. Like it's his blood. It's it's hard to get that again. Like you only have so much that they can take from you to build into another thing. So essentially, they don't want to waste this penis that they've made. So they decide while he's on the operating table to graft the penis onto his arm, to attach it to his arm, to keep it like healthy and blood flow going to it, to keep it alive essentially until they can do the operation again. So yeah, I know what you're going to ask.
Okay, what am I going to ask?
Malcolm thinks he's going to wake up with a brand new penis between his legs because that's the operation he went in for.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's like going to be 2 inches longer than his old one, so he's really exciting. And he does, in fact, wake up with a penis that's 2 inches longer than his old one, but it's attached to his arm.
Yeah.
And he did not know this. Like,
Yeah.
he wakes up with a penis on his arm that he had no idea that was going to happen.
The question I was going to ask, though, that if you're attaching a penis to his arm, why can't you just attach the penis to where the penis is supposed to go?
Because it's an incredibly intricate
Yeah.
surgery. When they're attaching it to where it's meant to go, there's like nerve endings that are the size of like half a hair. Like that's how tiny they
So it's
are.
just easier.
There's urethra stuff that needs to
Okay.
like it's incredibly
I see.
complex
Yes,
the way
yes,
it needs
yes,
to be
yes,
attached down there
yes.
correctly. Attaching it to the arm is kind of just like
It's not functional.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
functional
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. Like it can't like a lot of people did ask when it was on his arm, could it like get erect or could it like no.
Dig through it.
It literally is just like attaching it to a sort like a blood flow.
I see. Yeah.
So they
yeah.
it was the quickest thing they
I
could
see.
do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's pissed.
Well, not entirely. He's disappointed because, he thought he was going to
gonna-
finally get a penis. But also the doctors tell him, look, the penis won't be affected at all. Technically, it doesn't matter where it's attached like to the body right now. As long as it's attached, it will stay healthy and ready to be properly attached to the penis area. So he's just grateful that they, did that. It rather because they could have just gone, well, that's that. Like, we're not going to do it. So, so he's initially grateful, and after that, it's meant, he's meant to have the surgery again soon. So I guess that's why he was like, well, what are you going to...
Short-term measure.
Yes. But then there are delays, and it's a little hazy as to what caused the delays. Some of the medical team that he worked with have sort of quite, like, to put it delicately, have said, look, Malcolm was not the most reliable patient. There were a lot of missed appointments apparently.
Yeah, of course.
There were a couple of times surgery was scheduled, but he wasn't well enough to undergo surgery because he still had his addiction problems. So there were a few missed chances for surgery there. Then when he was sort of well enough and he was going to his appointments and he had gotten sober for an extended period, they scheduled the surgery for 2020. So it's been on him for 4 years now. But 2020, COVID. And I'm surprised because you would think in the medical profession it's a man getting a penis attached. So I would not be surprised if they were like, no optional surgeries except this one's essential. But no, they were like, sorry, no, we can't do it right now. So that's when Malcolm went to the press because he was like, it's been 4 freaking years. I'm sick of waiting.
Where on the arm was it?
I'll show you.
Okay. You'll show me.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
It's been 4 years. He's like, I'm sick of waiting, and he doesn't know what else to do. So, and he finally sort of got himself together, got sober, was going to the appointment because he knew he was like, I missed a lot of appointments. Like he knew that for a while there it was on him, but he's like, I've done everything they've asked now. I want this penis off my freaking arm. So he goes to the press because he doesn't really know what else to do. And, of course, the story just causes massive headlines. That's when I originally talked about it on Breaking News on Just the Gist back, in 2020.
Imagine being the reporter to, like, break that story. He just comes in and goes, I've got a penis on my arm. You'd be like, I'm going to win a Walkley. This is amazing.
And he's such a character too. Like, he really, at the time, was still seeing the humor in it. So he says he had started calling it Jimmy because he sort of saw it as a friend. He said he was trying to see the funny side. He says in an interview at the time, I get it. It's not every day you see a man with a penis on his arm. Of course I see the funny side. I have to. I don't have any other option. If I couldn't laugh at the willy on my arm, I'd be finished. And then he says, and I quite like this in terms of just he's really seeing the glass half full here and just thinking about how incredible just the whole situation is medically. He says, of course it's mad having a penis on your arm. Not even I'm used to it. But when you think about it, it's actually amazing. I'm like, it is.
It is. Like, it's medically, scientifically amazing.
Yeah. So,
I mean, like, they didn't attach to your face. They could have, it could have been a lot nissier.
Yeah. But by that point, it had been 4 years.
Yeah. The novelty would have worn off.
He was over it.
Yeah.
So that story goes big. And then I sort of kept track of it for a while because everyone thought, oh, well, if it's broken in the press now, so surely they'll do it. But again, it was COVID times and it was hard to schedule that kind of thing. So 2 years later, in 2022, it was finally due to be reattached. And Channel 4 decided we will come and do this documentary with him while it's still on his arm and we'll like follow him as he gets the surgery finally.
Perfect documentary.
They call the documentary The Man with the Penis on His Arm because what else? You know what I mean? By that point, Malcolm was not really seeing the funny side anymore. I think probably that might have something to do with the fact he went public with it in 2020, 2 years earlier. I'd say a lot of people who've never dealt with like public attention like that probably don't realize the effect it's going to have on them. Like I can't help but look at all the quotes he gave in 2020 about seeing the funny side and all of that kind of thing. And then, probably the fallout from that was really difficult to deal with. So by the time he's talking to the documentary crew in 2022, he's not thrilled about it. I mean, the documentary opens with that audio I played you at the start where they had him calling the hospital being like, what the F,
got a penis
I'm
in
going
my
to cut
arm.
this off myself unless you do something about it. So he reveals in the documentary like the very difficult and embarrassing situations he's faced in the now 6 years it's been dangling off his forearm, including his penis falling out in the supermarket, him accidentally hitting his own grandmother in the face. He says, I fucking slapped myself in the eye with it. It's a dead weight. When you cuddle your nan at Christmas, you hit her in the eye. I know.
He's regretting to go
But
2
he
inches bigger
kind
as
of-
well, isn't he?
He says this stuff and it's like awful. You can tell he's frustrated, but he also knows it's funny. Like he's a funny guy and you can tell he knows it's funny. Then he says, I went to Waitrose, which is the supermarket. I went to Waitrose. There was an old lady that needed some help. It fell out of the bandage and fell out on her head. I could have given her a heart attack, mate. He says, when I'm cooking, it burns. I can't use the back hob. Of course, I feel like less of a man. I ain't got a penis. I'm not a man, am I? So he was really struggling emotionally in this documentary. Like they do sort of lean into the funny side of it because I think he finds that helpful. But he also does get quite vulnerable and talk about how tricky it has been without it. You know, things like he's like, I can't go swimming with my kids. I can't wear certain clothing, particularly since he went public.
Exactly.
He was getting
everyone now knows as well. Strangers wanting to see it, you know, like it's
Yes,
you
and
don't
so-
live with autonomy anymore.
Speaking of strangers wanting to see it, would you like to see it?
Oh, yes, I would.
So they show it in the documentary. Let me just get up the time here.
I'm so excited.
Now, there are some people who felt funny about this documentary at the time. There was commentary around it, kind of saying like maybe they shouldn't have made it because he seems like quite a vulnerable person.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know him personally, obviously, but like he could be under the influence.
Yeah.
But it's also like he also could not be.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know him. He speaks in a certain way that is indicative of like the dialect of where he's from. I think he's had a pretty rough life.
Yeah.
I think there are people who watch this and assume like, oh, he's off his face or whatever. But I'm not sure if he is. I don't think they would have done the surgery if he was still having issues like that. But
As someone who's been addicted for so many years,
yes,
has, you know, some kind of like trauma impacted by it
yes,
as well. So even when you are sober, you still have the, you know,
there's
impact of it,
damage or whatever. So I mean, some people did think he was vulnerable and this was exploitative. I can't comment on that because I'm not sure what state he was in without knowing him. But he says that he doesn't regret doing this because this documentary is the thing that finally got the surgery scheduled, like made it happen. So here is the part in the documentary where you see the penis on the arm. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
It's my new penis.
All right, he's washing dishes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah. And there is just
It is
a
literally just a
penis.
and it's actually, you know
It's
what?
like
It's a lovely
it's
looking
a beautiful looking
penis.
penis. Yeah, it's a circumcised, lovely, smooth,
Like, because I guess if you're making it,
Yeah.
you can make a really nice one.
decent girth. Like it's
Explain how it is on the arm.
it is on the forearm, running along the forearm. So kind of where
It's like attached just below the elbow.
yeah,
On
just
the inner arm.
on the inner arm, where the elbow is. It's just below the elbow and the forearm, and it kind of runs along. So the head of the penis is near the wrist.
But only the base of the penis is connected. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
they sewed it on at the base and then it's just dangling there like it's like a penis where a penis would be, like, but it's on the arm.
And where the base of the penis meets the arm, it's almost like seamless. Like
Yeah.
you can't see
It
any-
matches his skin perfectly
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they made it with skin from his
yeah.
arm.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty
Like-
freaking incredible.
Science.
I know.
Medical science is incredible. That is
Science, man.
I had no idea they could do things like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But you can also see why after 6 years he was over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would just get in the way. You can
Yeah.
see how that slapped his nan in the face when he was trying to give her a hug,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you can go and watch it. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's in the Channel 4 documentary.
Yeah.
We'll include the link in the show notes, obviously, to this little snippet of the documentary on YouTube. So yeah, that's the penis there. So later that year in 2022, Malcolm McDonald finally gets the surgery to take the penis off his arm and put it between his legs where his penis should go. The surgery takes 9 hours.
Wow.
It's incredibly complex. Like I explained before, there's nerve endings and all kinds of complicated things that we're not going to understand. This is just the gist. He has a big scar left on his arm where it was, but he's thrilled. Like he's so happy. He says in the documentary, he feels really hopeful. He says, this could be a turning point in my life. My luck in life hasn't been too good so far, but it can only go bad for so long, can't it? And then he says, God bless, he's a really likable guy. He says, can you imagine 6 years of your life with a penis swinging on your arm? It's been a nightmare, but it's gone now, the little bugger. And then, this was 2022 and I really looked trying to find any kind of update of him since then. Like we're in 2025 now and I haven't really been able to find everything I can find on him seems to be all based on when he did this documentary back in 2022 because he did a bunch of press for it and everything. So I haven't been able to find anything more recent. If you know, please let us know and we can add an update. But hopefully he's doing well.
Hopefully no news is good news.
Yeah, hopefully no news is good news.
Wow.
And I want to end on this quote. At the time of the documentary, he did an interview with The Guardian. And this is my favorite quote from the whole interview. It says, 6 years with a cock on me arm, he says in wonder. Something to tell the grandchildren, isn't it? So he is just kind of,
Yeah.
glass
That's
half
amazing.
full, I guess.
Can they give trans men penises like that? Is that a thing?
I guess so.
Yeah.
And maybe this is how they do that.
I mean, with incredibly privileged with amounts of money to be
I'm
able to do that because it would be so expensive to do.
I would hope that one day we get to a point where the public system would, help with that.
Cover,
but
yeah.
I'm
Wow.
assuming that if you are a trans man with the means to have a surgery like this is how they would do it.
Because otherwise, why would they have this procedure in the off chance that someone loses their penis? It seems like a lot of resources for.
In the documentary,
Yeah.
It's a longer documentary series where they talk to a few different men with different issues. So there are some men who, there are certain conditions you're born with that mean you have a micro penis or stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are also accidents where people lose their penises. Again, the medical field is dominated by men who care more about men's issues than anything else.
Yeah.
So you say, why would they
It
have
seems
this
kinda
procedure?
niche.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. I think men in medicine are like, penis issues, this top priority.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
We will rebuild.
yeah. So this is, it's quite a, it's a medical field that's sort of very much on the forefront of developing technology and science. And I think it's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, 6 years with a cock on my arm. Something to tell the grandchildren, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But you know what?
Yeah, it
he's a
is.
lucky guy.
Yeah.
The life that he lived and how at risk he was
Yeah.
of, losing his life completely.
I think it says something about, no country with universal healthcare, for example, Australia or Britain, no country with universal healthcare has a perfect system, but it is still pretty amazing that this was offered to him under their public healthcare system.
Yeah.
That's pretty
it
amazing.
is, yeah, incredible.
So that is.
And that he wasn't super judged for
No.
it because of the issues he was facing as well.
And, it sounds like there were delays. He had stuff going on that meant he couldn't get the surgery for a while. And rather than writing him off, they worked with him and got to a point where they, they did it. And it's now down there. And I'm really hoping no news is good news.
Yeah.
For Malcolm McDonald, the man with the penis on his arm.
Wonderful story, Rosanna.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful story.
Thank you so much, Jimothy. All right.
The man with the penis on his arm.
Yep.
That
was it.
That was it.
JTG Mini, a
amazing.
classic.
Amazing.
All right, see ya.
Bye.